here on YouTube. Before I jump in, it is Mother's Day. I do want to dedicate this reading to my grandmother Dorothy. She was a huge fan of mine, and I've talked about her before, but I've never shown her picture. So I want to show my grandmother Dorothy's picture. This is like my favorite picture of her. And I have so many memories of being in this little kitchen, eating all kinds of good meals. She cooked basically all the meals that we had for like 60 years. So she fed everyone, and she was amazing cook and baking and cooking and baking, and she really inspires me. And she was a huge cheerleader, and I didn't realize how much of a cheerleader she was until she passed. And those things where you don't realize how influential somebody is on your life until you no longer have them in your life any longer. So because it's Mother's Day, I really want to dedicate this reading to her. And obviously, if there's anything that comes through, uh, you know, that comes through, that's intended to come through for this reading, I'll let you guys know. I do also want to say, number two things. One, I'm having a Mother's Day sale. So all my readings are $20 off. If you book today, you would have to send a payment today in order to book the reading. And then even if you didn't actually have the reading until, it could be months from now, but if you sent the payment today, then you'd still get the $20 off. So it's $20 today only for Mother's Day sale. I am trying to book for this week and next weekend, but depending on my schedule, it could be a little bit longer, but I could also do it sooner than that, depending on how things go. And yeah, I have updated my website. I did update my website to show the change in my prices just for today. So, I do also want to say that I am still partnering with Jackery. I did have another psychic premonition that there's going to be issues with power outages. So I'm still partnering with them. If you want to check them out, the link is going to be to Jackery is going to be in the description box below. They do solar power generators. I've talked about them before. And, I originally, I'm a big fan of Isabel Page. She has a channel, and she, basically was partnering with Jackery, and I was like, I had some premonitions about the solar power generators. About the power going out, and then I thought, well, maybe I should reach out to them to see if I could partner too. And they do have an affiliate program, so that worked out there. So yeah, I am going to jump into the reading. These are going to be just channel messages. I'm going to hold up the cards. This is not a pick a card reading. This is just going to be channel messages generally for all signs. Whatever comes through comes through. And if you'd like to get a private reading, definitely hit me up. It's oracledaphne.com. The link is going to be to my website. It's in the description box. So I'm just going to lay out a spread. Let's see what I get. I do want to say while I'm laying out the spread that I have been putting WTF on all of my latest readings because the view count is so crap, and it's just so irritating to me. And I don't know. It was kind of a test to see if anybody noticed, and nobody seems to really care, which is funny in itself. But yeah, I'm not really serious about that. It's just more of like a test to see if YouTube changes or if the algorithm is changed even slightly. But it really hasn't made any difference at all. So that being said, please donate. Please book a reading. Basically, this is my main source of income right now. Still looking for a full-time job. So everything is, and anything is really helpful right now. I do want to say that. You do have some interesting stuff showing up here. Two things. The first thing that came through is that, some of you may be very tired. We have the Hanged Man crossing, and the Hanged Man in this position, to me, it's you. You might be overdoing it in whatever way. The Empress is reaching out. So, to me, this is overdoing it. Whatever that is, maybe you're staying up too late. Maybe by overdoing it means like pushing yourself to some limits, giving too much, maybe not receiving enough, being exhausted. Maybe you're exhausted a little bit of like non-reciprocation, or quote unquote doing all the work, or like, I don't know, maybe you're stretching yourself too thin. The Hanged Man the energy of the Hanged Man is generally lower, and it needs to kind of get revitalized. Eating right, sleeping right, taking care of yourself. You might actually have times where you overeat, and other times where you forget to eat, or you forget to take breaks. Be sure you're taking your breaks. Be sure you're taking like naps. Be sure you're taking care of yourself. I want to say that. That's the first thing that that is coming through. Second thing is, you do also have some outside jealousy, from someone, and I'm not sure who that is, but it's jealousy. It's not going to last for very long. Yeah, to me, it's a passing energy. You do also have money coming in too, which is cool to see. So you might not be expecting the amount of money that you're going to be making, but to me, you're making money. Like, there's something about money coming in here. Some of you are going out, maybe taking yourself out to eat, or going on a dinner, or doing something out, maybe with like at a music venue, something like that. To me, this is maybe taking someone else out. This could also be dating. Whatever's happening, the money, it feels like it's going to change your circumstances. Like, so maybe, you're just kind of in like survival mode, but then you get this money, and then you're able to do a lot with it. And it's going to bring you some freedom from worry. We have the Swords. I feel like this reading is actually kind of complicated because there's mixed energies. It's like there's all this really good stuff, but at the same time, there's also this, I don't know, it's like an underlying pain or irritation. Some of you, like someone may have suffered an injury. This could be actually old injuries. Some of you are feeling kind of like achy or tired or sore. Like, I'm getting like sore, or like an underlying pain. It could be arthritis, some sort of arthritis. I don't know why it feels very like it's like an underlying issue. It's not necessarily going to stop you from living your life, but for whatever reason, like some of you just may have issues with your joints. It's weird because I woke up, was it yesterday? And my eyes were swollen, and I was like, that's weird. Like, like maybe, like I didn't drink enough water the day before. I spent like 4 hours in the garden. Maybe it was 3 hours or 4 hours. I don't know. Like, it was a long time to be outside in the elements. So, you may be outside in the elements just in some regard. I don't know what that would be. Maybe that's for work. Or some of you just have like an underlying thing where maybe you wake up and you just are not, you don't have the energy, you need to take more herbs. Like, some of you need to book a reading to do like using like my herbal medicine deck, where I can check out like supplements and stuff and herbal remedies and stuff that you could take. and make suggestions. I don't diagnose, but I can take a look and see what comes through. I definitely feel like it's an energy that needs to shift, but it's not like the end of the world. It's just something that I want to address. There may have been some financial issues in the past. Financial issues. But again, it's like, to me, the cool thing about this reading is that the more that I look at it, the more it feels like good things are balancing out the negative. So let's just say, your finances are in quote unquote shambles, where you don't have much money and there's not much. That's going to shift and change. We have the Eight of Wands. And it's so funny because the Eight of Wands is the wish card. I think of it as the wish card. And it means that you're going to get your wish. Wherever she shows up, whatever she touches, you're going to get your wish. If you're wishing for free tickets to go wherever, you're going to. If you're wishing for money to come in, it's going to come in. If you're wishing to wake up and feel, to me, it's like waking up and feeling like the nightmare is over, or waking up and feeling like you got some pep in your step, or you got some energy going. I think that's what's going to happen. It's just a matter of shifting gears. I feel like there's some element of like to me, it feels like it's a gear. It's like the wheel turning. And it's funny that the wheel did show up. I don't remember where the wheel did show up. Maybe not in this reading. Maybe I saw it the other reading. It was something that I was thinking about, though. So for some of you, it's like, yeah, here we go. The Knight of Pentacles. We've got a wheel right there. That's a wheel. It's the whole thing in the tarot with the wheel is that there's like, to me, it's like a balancing thing. You can't always be going in reverse, but you can't always be going forward. You have to be in the now moment. The now moment kind of carries the forward and backward motion. It's sort of like at the same time. So with the wheel, to me, it shows balances and checks and balances in our life. So periods and times where we go through things and we may not feel like we're moving forward, or may feel like it's just like pulling a molar tooth to get anywhere, and then sometimes we feel like in our life where we're actually going backwards or sliding backwards, or like it's just like we're not really getting anywhere. So in life, we can't always feel like we're not getting anywhere, and we can't always be going 100 miles per hour all the time. So it's just one of those things where I think that, to me, whatever needs to balance out is going to be balancing out for you. Now, this is not a guarantee. This reading is for entertainment purposes only. I definitely feel, though, that it's a balancing act. It's not too much. It's not too little. It's yeah. I feel like I was going to say, it's not about going out too much or staying in too much. It's about balance. It's about balancing and consistency too. I feel like this reading needs consistency. The outcome is the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is shining your light on something, the truth of stuff coming out. This can indicate pregnancy for some, but I don't necessarily feel like that's showing up here in this reading. We have the Devil in the position of attitude as well. So there is something about being kind of a slave to your addictions, your habits, your vices, your things that that you want, like maybe immediate gratification kind of stuff. Some of you, you're a slave to your job, or you're chained to your work, or you're chained to a relationship. This is the ball and chain, okay? So, like, you may feel trapped, because it's in a position of attitude. The Devil's in a position of, so you may be trapped in something where you feel like you can't leave. or you may be trapped in a situation that you feel like you can't leave. Some of you, it's like where you live. Some of you, it's a marriage. Some of you, it's a relationship, a person. Maybe they're not married to. It's also things that you feel like you can't change. I don't know why that's coming through. My guide said that. You're trapped because maybe you feel like you can't change certain things. And we have the Nine of Swords showing up, and that's, to me, that's like this thinking, like negative thinking, getting stuck in your head, worst case scenarios. That's like thinking there's no way out. To me, the Nine of Swords is like thinking there's no way out of this situation. Why bother? Why bother trying? It's weird. I never thought of this before. Okay, so like this, he's got a set pair of wings, but he's not using them. He's standing somewhere. And all these other birds are flying. And he could be flying too, but he's not. Yeah, he's just standing there looking up at the birds, afraid to fly. So there's something about, to me, this is the fear card. There's the fears. Fears of not being able to change things, fears of like things going to shit, things of like not going your way. For some of you, this is the person that's scared, ran away and got scared of commitment, things like that. But going back to what I said, I wanted to talk about this Eight of Wands with the Wish card. Okay, the Wish card, to me, I did make a wish, and I did this special project when I was in art school, like 20 years ago. Okay, I made a wish, and I cut up pieces of paper, and I attached it to a tree outside of my apartment building, and I photographed it. And the photographs is what I used for my project in school. My teacher, obviously, she gave me a passing grade. She thought it was really cool that I actually made something to photograph, because basically she told everybody to go and photograph stuff. But it was instead something that I made and then photographed. And my wish all of that has come to pass. All of that stuff that I had wanted back then. But it's very interesting that that's what I wanted back then. And so my next project is going to be, which I wanted to do for the last couple of days actually, is to do another one. Is to do like make another wish, photograph it, post it here on Instagram, post it online somewhere, and make that sort of like a new cycle, or set that as like my intention for the next 30 years or 20 years of what I'd like to come to pass in my life. Because I want to renew that energy of like putting something out there. The funny thing about the wish card is that, that whole saying is be careful what you wish for, because it's going to come to pass, but it doesn't always come to pass in the way we want it to. It doesn't come to pass in the timing that we want it to come to pass. And sometimes we wish on things that are impossible to happen, and we know that they're impossible to happen, but we wish for them anyways. So it's like those wishes get kind of pinged out into the universe, and like they disappear. Like it can't happen. For some things that like can happen, that hit the quantum field and then come back, and it's sort of we think of them as miracles, or we think of it as things that come to fruition or come to pass that we have wanted or wished for. They do happen. So I guess this reading is about being remembering, I guess, that more of like about the quantum stuff, about how things manifest, how things come to pass, and maybe making a wish or thinking about what it is that you would want if you made a wish, maybe writing that down on a piece of paper somewhere, Um, I want to pull a card. I'm going to clean up these cards here. I really want to lay out some other cards and see where this wish falls, because I want to see if there's any other messages from my other deck that come through with this. Okay. Some of you're going to get pregnant. There's an element of pregnancy. It may be something that you've wanted or wished for a long time. In some of you, it's being actually a very abundant single person. Like, you may think that your wealth or whatever is going to come through other people or through marriage. Someone that's watching is actually going to make their fortune on their own. And there's going to be a lot of abundance for you as a single person. Some of you, you're going to be getting into a committed partnership. If that's something that you have wished for or wanted, that's going to happen. Those of you who... There's several messages coming through. Hang on. Okay. So we have this death card, which does, in my Marseille deck, indicate poverty or loss. But because we have the wish, I'm really focusing to see what wishes would come to pass. I think this is some kind of healing of that. Like, it's some kind of rebounding from a business or situation which resulted in loss. So, like, for some people, this is actually like getting an inheritance, something that comes from nothing. It's that song, Nothing Comes From Nothing, that Sound of Music song. There is something coming from nothing here. And I don't know if that's something that... I think the wish would have been maybe to, maybe revitalize a business or to start a business of your own or something like that. The way it's going to happen, though, the way it's going to get healed, or the way, at least from what I can see, is that there's some healing of that loss. And it could be healing from a loss or healing from that loss. So healing from that loss, meaning like maybe starting another business or getting investors in, to invest in a current business, or some kind of revitalization of a business. Like my business, for instance, because I lost so many clients in 2017 because of YouTube. My business itself, like if this was the example, would be like going through some change, some kind of changes where I'd have like a strong influx of clients, or I'd be reading more time, or like my YouTube channel would have more fans and followers or something like that. This is just an example, okay? Healing from some loss could also indicate some inheritance. Yeah. Yeah. Some of you, like, I feel like for some of you, you got the card about striving and sweating and laboring. Like some of you have been like really pushing a rock up a hill. Like you've been really pressing for something. Now maybe you've been working very hard at trying to like get something off the ground. Some of you, maybe it's looking for a job. Maybe it's getting to a certain point. For some people, this is moving. Like maybe you've moved and a lot of work goes into moving. People do not understand. It takes a lot to move. So some of you, like maybe you've moved to a different location. There's something about arriving and things really turning around. Like if you've wanted things to turn around, or if you were hoping for some kind of breakthrough or something like that, I think that's going to come to pass. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's also something about here, getting your wish as far as emotional fulfillment. There's something about emotional fulfillment. And if you, this is going to sound funny. If you're anything like me, where you're kind of a little bit wild, and maybe you've been single for a long time, and maybe, it's taken a long time for you to settle down. Settling down, I feel like some of you are going to settle down with a family. I feel like some of you are going to settle down and get married. And I feel like that's come up twice now. This is actually really, really cool because I was not expecting all this to show up here today. So I definitely feel like some of you, you're going to be beating all the odds. There's something about beating the odds, and I feel like the universe is really cheering for you here. Like the universe really is cheering for you. Like is really wanting you to be successful, whether you believe it or not. Like you might not believe it, but the universe is really like there's a lot of support here. And it's funny because I'm dedicating this reading to my grandmother Dorothy, who was my biggest cheerleader. And she really just wanted me to be happy. She really just wanted the best for me. And she was always wanting, she always wanted me to find whatever it is that I needed to find, do what I needed to get done. And so she was just like kind of like a rock in some ways. She was very, she lived a very set kind of life where her life was it was structured. It had a lot of structure to it. There wasn't a lot of deviation to it. And I don't have that so much. So it's interesting that this is coming through here because there's this energy of being able to beat the odds, maybe settling down, having more of like a structure, structured life in some way. Not boring, but structure, We have the Chariot showing up too, and the Chariot is again, beating the odds, winning. Some of you, like, you're wanting or you're wishing first to feel like you're winning, to feel like you're maybe gonna make it, or to feel like you're gonna get to where you need to get to. And I definitely feel like in this reading that you will. That's the thing. And you might not see it, and you might not even realize that there are people that believe in you, or people that want the best for you, or that people that are cheering you on. So yeah. Let me check my live chat. Hi, Rod. Thanks so much for saying hi. Appreciate it so much. I do want to make sure that if anybody has any personal questions, that I address those now. You would have to send $25 through Cash App or Venmo if you wanted me to answer a personal question in the live chat. This is because I'm about to wrap up here, so I want to ask before I close for the day. Did anybody have any personal questions? Okay, so I'm going to leave off here. I'm hoping to record a few more pick a card readings today. If I don't get to them today, I will be doing those tomorrow. Definitely, call, whoever it is that's been a cheerleader in your life. Call them and tell them you love them. Go and say hi. Spend a little time. Maybe go to coffee or something. And yeah, my grandmother had a million cups of coffee. Like she didn't really drink a lot of water. She drank coffee, which is terrible. But she lived, I think, to be 93, so it wasn't. But she was one part of that generation where coffee didn't kill you back then. She was just made of tough stuff. So, thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the love and support. Please give this a thumbs up and put some comments below once it's been posted. It's going to take couple hours to maybe a day for it to fully be posted on my channel, but all comments, all likes, and everything is really helping right now because, like I said, I'm getting like 12 views so per video. It's just the views are so low. So thank you guys again. I appreciate it so much. I send big hugs, big kisses. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Wish you guys all the best. Take care. Bye.